Here we go again. We have Module 5. This is the first item in Module 5. I've gone through the videos already. This is the part where we start doing webhooks. Going to do webhooks and activate a function based on a webhook, which I gather is kind of like a webhook is kind of like an automated manual activation of a function. Is that a good explanation? No, it's probably terrible. Basically, it's like with an HTTP trigger, you're activating a function by going to this link. You're clicking on something. Something's being done by somebody. Whereas a webhook is kind of like a durable function in that as soon as something happens, it fires, and then it activates the function. So it's kind of like a trigger that's triggered by something else happening, but it's not an HTTP trigger. So they're just ways for when certain events happen, your webhook can fire off your functions. And webhooks can do other things too, I'm sure. I mean, they can be used in different areas, but ultimately it's a response to some other action going on and whatever. And they do. So what we're going to do here is the first thing we're going to do is select we're going to create a resource, which is the resource is going to be a function app. And as we know, I cannot create function apps in Azure Portal because Azure Portal doesn't let you do that because it's dumb. But we do have a function app. So let's see if I can actually utilize the one I have. And maybe I can just add this to it if it's going to be nice to me. So we're going to compute the function app, create the function app on the basics tab into the following. We have a concierge subscription. So they want us to create a separate function, which we can do through VS Code, or we can just use the one we have from the drop-down list, like sandbox, resource group, blah, 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 sandbox, code, publish code, runtime stack. They want us to use Node.js. So can I do that? Yes, I can do that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and go to VS Code and create this in VS Code because, like I said, I can't do this any other way. I mean, I can do it through probably Visual Studio, although I haven't actually created a web app, a function app through Visual Studio. I've edited a web app through Visual Studio, but I need to create this one in Node.js, and I don't think I have all the extensions necessary in Visual Studio to do that. So I'll just do it this way. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new branch. I don't even know. This is the VS Code app I created that actually I don't even want to install this. This doesn't have anything in it. It's just all I did was create the Node.js. It has a default trigger that doesn't do anything. It's just your basic, put in your name, welcome, whatever. It's pretty simplistic. I'm not gonna save that. It's the one I use in Visual Studio. Visual Studio actually put a function up in there for that app, but it was more of a matter of see how they have. Here we're going to go when you deploy complete. Go to Resources, Overview, Functions. Select Create in Azure Portal. The Create function pane appears under Select Template. Select HTTP trigger, and then select Create the HTTP one trigger. In the left menu pane, Developer, select Code. So now we're actually going to put this code in there, and I'm going to upload it all. Test triggering your function. We're going to see if my function works, which I'm sure it will. And then we're going to go on to actually set up the webhook, and we'll see how that works using my app. Hopefully it will still be doable through there. We'll find out because I'm going to do this. So we're going to go here. Oops. Create new project. And this one is a, we're going to browse. And we're calling this one, what are we calling this one? Create a function app, blah, 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 search, menu bank, compute, search services, create, oh, concierge subscription. That's, oh no, concierge, no, what is that? That's not it, function app name. Oh, it's whatever I want it to be, I guess. I don't know what concierge subscription is that a different kind? That's whatever they used here. That must be the sandbox, I don't know. All right, so we're going to go up here. We will call it, I don't know, webhook test. We'll call it web. Oops. Probably should have to create the folder first. New folder. Webhook. And we will select that one. And we're going to do this in JavaScript. Go with the latest. They are doing an HTTP trigger, so we'll just call it HTTP trigger 1 because that's what they're doing. Because we go through all this, we go all the way down here, and this is HTTP trigger 1 that we're creating, and then I will have to edit it when we get to that point. So that's good enough. Let's go ahead and open in the current window because whatever I have, I don't care. Okay, so we have that. It looks like that's done. So now we just have to do this part. This is our JavaScript. They want to replace what's in there. In the left menu, developers like code test, pane, appears here function. Displaying the JavaScript file that was created from the template should look like the following code, which it doesn't because it's slightly different. Above, passed as a query, and the query string is part of the request body and responds. Above the code is the path with drop-down list, the file name, and it does respond to select JSON. Select function JSON. Oh, the path. Where is function JSON? Oh, there it is. In the drop-down list, select above the code is a path with a drop-down list showing the file name, drop-down function JSON. The JSON file with created by the template appears. It should look like the following code. Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to see if I can find the function JSON. There's package JSON. and I was looking at Azure Functions, but I kind of thought it would be under Azure Functions, which is what I'm at. And I don't see function package JSON. But imagine maybe there isn't a function JSON, host JSON, local settings JSON. I don't see. All right, well, what is it asking me to do? JSON specify the function is triggered by get post and request direct towards the URL of the function. Test trigger. All right, let's go ahead and just deploy this up to Azure, because that's where it needs to be for me to do any of this stuff. This could just be it's set up different here because it's using Visual Studio Code and uses slightly different files, but let's see. We're going to call this one create new function app, and we're going to go AZ or AMG AZ204, and this one's going to be Webhook functions, and we're going to go with the latest as usual. And we're going to go to East US, and that seems to be the one that works. And there you go. And we're off. Looks like we're getting up there temperature-wise today. Getting up to 68 so far. It's kind of off and on clouds. Tomorrow we're supposed to get up into the, I think, the mid-70s. Well, let's see here. What can we talk about while we wait for this thing to produce? Okay, it says it's produced. Running pre-deploy task, npm prune functions. That's doing more stuff. Hopefully it's going to work. On to the next step. So we've created the function app. That's out there. Now we're deploying to the function app. I guess you'd have to create it and then you go to the Azure functions. Then you deploy the HTTP. So. Alrighty, so we should exist now. Okay, so I think everything's good. Let's go to this next step. We got to go test it. So, well, let's go up and grab it. Let's make sure it's there, just like it says it is. So we got my programming page, my programming, what is it, workbook? These workbooks are awesome. These are the workspaces that that were introduced recently by Microsoft in the Microsoft Edge, and I really like them. They work pretty cool. There you go, webhook functions right there. It actually created its separate storage account though. Not a fan of that. Why does it keep creating new ones instead of just using the one I have? Oops, wrong one. Click the wrong one. Webhook functions, function app. Here we go. And we got our HTTP trigger there. And then we click on that. And of course I can't do anything with it because it'll say, no, we can't edit that here. But what we can do is get the URL. And we will just copy that. Go to a new page. And hit enter. Hello world. So we work. Okay, so we're good. We got the whole thing flying. I could probably add name equals AMG here. Hello AMG. There we go. Let's go next. All right, now we're going to do the webhook. All right, so this is where we actually do something new we haven't done already. We got the payload URL is the URL of the server that will receive the webhook posts requests. Each event type has a specific payload. Payload contains information about the event. Webhooks can be delivered using two different types. The application JSON content type delivers the JSON payload directly as the body of the post request. Events are at the center of webhooks. Events occur whenever actions are taken in the repository. So this is just kind of teaching it to you, showing it to you. Set up a webhook for Git repository. Okay, I think that's what we're doing. I mean, like, that's the whole, I mean, I have to look at my, exercise. Create an Azure function triggered by a webhook. Exercise quiz. Set up a webhook for Git. Oh, nope, I guess that was it. I don't even know how that's an assignment. That just seems like, they don't feel like an assignment, you know? And this is just, did you do it? Yes, I did it. Oh, and there's actually a video for this.
Now we'll look at how to set up a webhook for a GitHub repository. In GitHub, webhooks can be set up on an organization or a specific repository. The webhook will be triggered each time one or more subscribed events occurs. For example, the Golem event allows you to listen for wiki updates, specifically creation and updates for a wiki page. Now you'll learn how to set up a webhook listening for a change event from your company's GitHub wiki.
It's only a 2-minute video.
It's a two-step process. First, you specify how you want your webhook to behave through GitHub and what events it should listen to. Then, you set up your function in Azure Functions to receive and manage the payload received from the webhook. In GitHub, you can install webhooks for an organization or a repository. In the example scenario case, we're setting up a webhook on a specific repository. To set up the webhook, go to the settings page of your repository in the GitHub portal. Select Webhooks and then select Add Webhook. Alternatively, you can build and manage a webhook through the Webhooks API, but we will not cover this approach in this lesson. Webhooks require a couple of configuration options before you can use them. We'll go through each of these settings next. The payload URL is the URL of the server that will receive the webhook post requests. Each event type has a specific payload format. That payload contains information about the event that triggered the webhook. Webhooks can be delivered using two different content types. The application/JSON content type delivers
I'm
the
not
JSON
big on videos.
directly as the body of the
But I
source
do feel
request,
like I need to
and the
watch this.
application/x-www-form-url encoded content type sends the JSON payload as a form parameter called payload. You should note that the Add Webhook page also enables you to specify how to protect the information sent by the webhook by using a secret. This topic is covered later in this module. Now let's turn to events. Events are at the center of webhooks. Events occur whenever actions are taken in the repository. When the event occurs, the webhook fires off and calls the URL that you specify, sending along the payload and event information to your URL.
Let's see. Events occur whenever actions are taken in the repository. Yeah, sure. Correct.
A full list of webhook events and when they can
It's an
run
event,
can
right?
be
An,
found in
an action is an event, so it's like, duh.
For example, to respond whenever an
They
issue
could have thrown that
is
at me.
raised
Ever,
in the
never have you
repository,
seen this? And I would have been like,
directly
yeah.
select individual events and then select issues. Make sure you select active to receive issue events for triggered webhooks. To listen for updates to the wiki for the repository, select the wiki checkbox. This event is the Golem event mentioned earlier. In the next exercise, we'll walk you through the process of setting up a webhook for a GitHub repository.
Okay, so now she shows you the things there, and then I'm like, well, is that the thing I'm supposed to be doing? Or can I just wait until I do the exercise? So if I go to the exercise and the exercise is like assuming I did all that stuff, I might have to come back to the video and step through. So we'll see. All right, so let's slap that guy over there. I'm so tired. Oh, so yeah, this workout I've been doing lately had me doing 28 sets today, and Friday I have to do 36. It's the end of the second part of this workout I've been doing, and it's like they break it up into 5 parts, and this is part 2. And it's just gotten to the hardest part, and you do 36 sets. I don't know that I've ever done 36 sets in a single day's workout. I've gotten up to 30, I think, a few times, but I don't know that I've ever gotten to 36. It's crazy, man. Okay, on to the task. Okay, so using your web browser, sign into your GitHub account, which they assume you have, because why not? Let's go here, and then I will go to my GitHub, which I think is here somewhere. Well, apparently I don't have my GitHub here. I have other GitHubs, but I probably should put GitHub on here. So this is my GitHub. What is all this? Updates to your homepage feed. Why do I have homepage feed? Truly independent web browser. Windows, MacOS, and Ubuntu. What? This is just like people are just stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Create a new repository by selecting new. To create a new repository, page in the repository name page, learn webhook test. Okay. Learn webhook. Select public to activate your wiki module and find it in the menu. Yes. Select creating a new file link. Public? Oh, select create repository. Skipping lines, man. Select the creating a new file link. Creating a new file. In the top menu bar, select Wiki. You know, I've never actually done this before. Am I selecting a wiki? Huh. In the top menu bar, select Wiki to display the pages in your repository. A welcome page appears. Select Create the first page. The Create New Page template appears. Add some text and select Save Page. This is interesting. Having never done it before. Save page. Okay, add a webhook for the Golem event. Okay, Golem is the name of a GitHub event that is fired whenever a page in a repository wiki is created or updated. On the home page in the wiki view is Pages sidebar. Hopefully this will go smoothly. You know, I've done so many of these things so far where you're walking through the steps and then you hit something that doesn't exist. And you're like, okay, dokie. Okay, so here's the Pages sidebar. On the home page in Wikiview is a Pages sidebar that lists the pages in your step. Select Home to display the home page. Okay. On the home page in the top menu, select Settings. The Settings pane appears. In the Settings sidebar, select Webhooks. Dun, dun, dun. The Webhooks pane appears. On the top right, select Add Webhook. And enter my password. On the top page, GitHub, on the webhooks, add webhook pane, enter the following information. Payload URL. URL for Azure Function app from the previous exercise. For help, see the following note. Copy the function URL from the Azure HTTP trigger. Well, that's this guy. I actually, oops, nope, I guess I don't have it up no more. Content type application JSON. Which events would you like to trigger this webhook? Let me select individual events. In the event list that appears, scroll down and select Wiki checkbox. Wiki. And make sure active is checked. Yep. Select Add Webhook. The webhook pane appears. Woohoo! Verify that your new webhook appears. It should have Golem at the end of its name. It does. It does have that. All right, test the webhook. In GitHub, in the top menu bar, select Wiki. All right. The home page that you created earlier appears. Select Edit the page. Select Edit. The editing home page appears. Edit. In the text area, enter the following text. Testing webhook. Now let's test webhook. Save page. In the top menu bar, select Settings. Come back. Okay. The Settings pane appears. In the sidebar, select Webhooks. Wait, did I Am I repeating? No? Okay, we're going back over to webhooks. The sidebar, select webhooks main pair, select edit again. Okay. The webhooks / manage webhooks pane appears. Yeah. Select the recent deliveries tab. Okay. In the list, select top. In the list, select the top latest delivery. Holy moly. You'll see header section including the event. Oh yeah, okay. Go on, banana, webhook. Hey, it actually functioned. You got this whole thing there. Check that out. You also see the payload section contains information indicating that your wiki page was edited. The payload contains pages, repository, and sender action. Home, edited. Yep. Cool. Wow, a lot of stuff on here. Okay, it's a lot of payload. Under the recent deliveries tab, select the response tab. You'll see the response message generated by Azure Functions. I do see it. You'll see the response message generated by Azure Functions. For example, the body should contain the message, this HTTP triggered function executed successfully. Wow, I'm seeing what it did here. But it's a lot of text I can't really see. I don't see that, but I'm guessing by the fact that I mean, maybe it says that somewhere. I don't know. It's a lot of one-line text. Okay, but if you say so. 200 is usually a good sign, though. I know that from previous things. So. All right, next. Trigger an Azure function with the GitHub event. Did we do that? Let's make sure that we don't actually have that as a separate action, because this, like I said, this class tends to break up everything down to individual steps. Trigger an Azure function with the GitHub event. See, already done. So we can mark this as completed, and then we go to next item, and then it's going to ask me if I did it, and then I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to go here and click yes, and voila, on to the next item. Once again, another video.
The GitHub Golem event enables you to listen for wiki updates. When this event occurs and our Azure Functions function is triggered, you can parse the payload to retrieve and process the data sent. You've shown the IT department that you can listen for Golem events on your company's GitHub repository by setting up a webhook in GitHub. You've also demonstrated how Azure Functions enables you to run code when the function receives a webhook request. Now, we'll examine the payload from the Golem event so we can update our function to parse it correctly. The payload for the Golem event contains the following items. Pages. With the pages that were updated, each page includes the following information. Page_name has the name of the page. Title contains the page title. Action is the action that was performed on the page. It can be created or edited. And HTML_URL is the HTML wiki page. Then you'll have repository with information about the repository containing the wiki page, including name for the name of the repository, owner containing the details of the owner of the repository, and HTML_URL with the address of the repository. Then you'll have sender with information about the user that raised the event that caused the webhook to fire. This information is passed as the body of a HTTP post request. We'll need to update our function logic to be able to parse and process this information correctly. Recall that the webhook runs when a specific event occurs. The webhook then sends a request to the URL on which your Azure Functions code is set up to listen, using the URL for your function. The payload is passed to the Azure function. Your function can parse the request body to extract the fields from the payload and take the appropriate actions. You can retrieve the repository name from the payload. The event type is available in the x-github-event request header. This data is output in a function response.
Azure function can be triggered when an event occurs and the payload is parsed. To retrieve processing data, and a function can take appropriate actions. Yes.
In the next exercise, we'll update our function code to be able to handle incoming Golem events correctly.
Update your function to parse the webhook payload. Okay, so this is going to be basically doing the same thing, except I'm going to be doing it from here and having to redeploy it. So, so we're going to go to my HTTP trigger, which is over here. Going to close this guy up. Update the code by replacing the last 3 lines of code in the function body with the following code. Well, what are the last 3 lines? What are the last 3 lines that it thinks I'm replacing? Because this is written a tiny bit differently, so I got to go look at the code, the lines they think I'm replacing, so that I can match, because this does not match what they think I'm doing. I'll tell you that right now. So watch, I'll show you. This is what they think I'm doing. If I go back here to create Azure function, I'll open this up in a new window. And then we go down here, and this is what it thinks it's going to be. So the last 3 lines are basically whatever it thinks context res would be. Is that the right one? HTTP trigger pane appears for your function. In the left menu pane, deliver code. Function displaying JavaScript file that was created from the template. It should look like the following code. So they're saying that this is what they expect the last 3 lines to be. So now we're going to replace that here. So wherever context res would appear, and they don't even have, here's context. Okay, so this is going to be different. Fun. All right, so I got to figure out this. Okay, so those are slightly different. Mine says the same thing in the end. HTTP function process request for URL. Function process to request. So yeah, see how theirs is just totally written differently. So I got to make sure that mine, they have this context log where we have HTTP process request for URL, done. And then they have some constant names. They have the name set up here, and then they have constant response message equals name. So I don't actually have a response message here, hello, whatever, but it did work because they just said return hello name, and name is what you pass in from the name parameter. So it's a little bit different. Theirs has this context res status body response message. It's a little different, so I got to figure out. They are replacing body here. Basically, it's whatever this body part is. So I think we are good with just replacing it with this. Oops. No, we're replacing. So here's the problem. Mine doesn't lay out that way. It does a return. The body is hello whatever. So I gotta set the body. So we're gonna copy this, and I think I have to do something different here. Let's go here. So they have context res body. See, mine didn't even have context res. So at context res equals and this doesn't return it. So I'm almost thinking this is going to return. I wonder if I could tell it, if I can bracket this whole thing. Probably not. Because we got body here. I'd have to get rid of this context res. I don't think either that or I don't even know if I can just dump this. Because we're doing this a little bit different. You can see that my constant app requires Azure functions. App HTTP trigger. It's a little bit named different, built differently. So I can't guarantee. If I'm going to do this, I have to figure out the syntax for this. What I'm thinking is I just do this. Because that's what this is, right? Return, and then it's just body, blah, blah, blah. And otherwise, it would be this. So if I, instead of saying context res, I just say return. And yeah, I'm thinking that works. That's what I'm thinking. Now, what is the comment code here? Is that it? C#, it's that. I don't know if that's it or not. It looks like it's going to accept it. That looks like the comment lines. Because it's SQL Server, it's oh gosh, it's a dash. No, I'm getting all confused on the different things. I believe it's a dash. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Who cares right now? You don't look at something long enough, you start looking at all the different ways all these different apps do their things. And Visual Basic's even different from that. Okay, so let's just yeah, let's save this and then we'll go back over here and we will upload. We are deploying it back to the webhook functions. So remember, when you deploy a function app from Visual Studio or VS Code, it totally replaces what's there. So whatever's there is gone and replaced by what's in your app. So that's where it's tricky. You can't really have two people working on a function app at the same time because one is going to overwrite the other. So you basically have to say, hey, I'm working on this right now, and you've got the code. And then when you check it in, and then you check it into the repository or whatever your saving repository, if someone else would be able to check it out and edit it, and that's the only thing that can work. So if you can't, it's one of those things that will not play nice with. You can't even do parts. It's like, I'm gonna work on function A and I'm gonna work on function B. Nope. If you work on the same function app, the whole function app is under one person's purview. Okay, so I saved, I checked in, says we're good. I should be able to go over to the Azure portal now and kind of see my updated code, which I'm hoping is written correctly, because I made it, you know, I had to take some liberties trying to code it for the current way the trigger is written. And so we got this. Everything looks good. I won't know what it does until we do this. So we'll go back over to my app here. It says select the repository you're using for this module. In the top menu, select settings. We're there. In the sidebar, select webhooks. We're there. Select edit for your webhook. We will. Select recent deliveries. Yeah. Select the latest. Yeah. Select redeliver. Oh, weird. So you don't even have to trigger it again. You could just go, uh-oh, uh-oh. There's an explosion icon. Things didn't work. Doesn't say why, just it exploded. Let's see here. Yes, redeliver display point. Select the latest top delivery. Select response tab. You'll see how the webhook triggered your function, which then parsed the information and sent a response similar to the following text. Page is home. Action is edited. Event type is golem. Yeah, I didn't do that. So, yeah, that is not what happened. So whatever I parsed out of there blew up. And it doesn't give you much information beyond that. It just says, yeah, this is what you're getting. Can I go here? Oh, that was previous. No details. No details. What? All right, so what did I do wrong? Yeah, request outline pages. Well, okay, let's try this. I know in order to do these inline majiggers, probably shouldn't be using a standard quote. I probably need to be doing this, which means I probably have to do this. Oops. Oh, no, that's not correct. Okay, so I got to do, this is different. I'm going to have issues. I got to I gotta go through here and let's see here. It's page, then we're going to go $sign and squiggly bracket, and then we're going to go squiggly bracket. Oops. And if I'm going to do that, I don't really need this. It just inserts it. And then I don't need this. And then I have to go over here and do $sign squiggly bracket. And squiggly bracket again. And then we go over here. $sign squiggly bracket. And squiggly bracket again, followed by one of these thingy bobbers. Okay, hopefully that's less of a problem. And this one's okay because we don't put anything weird in there. So let's see if that is less problematic, and I'll deploy it again. Deploy to Azure. And we're going to go to this one. We say deploy, and we try it again. Okay, so yeah, we got, we're going to try to get this out there again. Hopefully this time it's just a matter of the format in which I did my body there, because I need to pass in some values. I'm going to try it, see if we're any more successful than we were a minute ago. At least they compiled, so we got that much. That's closer, right? Is it done? Guess it's done. It says completed. All right, well, let's just bypass all the nonsense. I'm sure it's there. I trust it that it's there. We're going to go back here, and we're going to go back to settings and or recent deliveries. And we're going to click on the one that worked. And we're going to redeliver again. Ah, it blew up again. No. No, you can't do that. That's not allowed. Dang it. Now what? Same thing. It's sending it. I mean, and we're getting the same send, but we're getting a blow up, and it's not telling me why. It's like, no, I need an error message. I need something. I wonder if there's a log here. Let's go back here. I'm gonna go to my HTTP trigger because obviously it's getting triggered. I mean, something's happening, right? It's blowing up. So let's go to the application insights. We're gonna do file system logs. I'm gonna say okay. Let's see if this gives me any kind of a useful error. Because this should be fine. I don't know why it's blowing up. Could it be request.body doesn't have pages? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I know the body's, yeah, it's got to have pages. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to try redelivery again. We're going to see if our page logs anything for us. Do we get any useful information out of the attempts? Okay, we do get an error. Failed. Blah 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 is. Aha! It is. This is not required. This is not. This is not defined. Oh, they just shortened it, and I didn't use that. It should just be request.body. I didn't put it in a variable. I just used it, and that's not allowed. You gotta put it in a variable, Ken, if you want that to do anything. Right. I mean, I don't know that it matters that it's in a variable or not, because it'd be kind of silly. You're just calling the same thing. You just took the west off of it. It's not like you shortened it that much. Took 4 letters off. Whatever. Control S. Saving and trying again. Yeah, nothing like typos to stumble upon. Create a little bit of fun and problem solving. Thing is, it was why did it compile? That's what I don't understand. It should say, hey, this doesn't even work. Unless it's because it says it's successfully deployed. It's like it should be saying, oh, sorry, this doesn't work, man. You didn't even declare your variable. Deploy, deploy, deploy. Where are we going? Temperature is actually cooling off because there's no sun outside anymore. It was like 69 a minute ago. Now it's dropped down like a couple degrees. Well, I do expect a little dialogue to pop up here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so now we go back. We will reopen this, let the dialogue... Oh, we're going to have to go back out, though, I think, and come back in. Because I think my page, since it changed, probably going to be not pointing correctly anymore. So we'll go back here, check the logs. We'll try again. Just in case it fails, I am ready with the logs. Cannot read properties of undefined executed failed blah 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 failure exception cannot read properties of undefined reading stat type error cannot read properties of undefined reading process ticks and what's undefined now? It's like, what are you saying is undefined? Cannot read properties of undefined. It doesn't. What does it think is undefined? Because I got the request. I'm looking at the URL. Oh, did I do this wrong? I don't know. Page is blah, action is blah, event type is blah, but what is undefined? What is undefined? You tell me. Huh. One of these objects I'm using is not valid. Which of these objects does not belong? So we got body, oh that's there. Dot pages, nope, that's there. What is undefined? What I would probably like to do is let's put in some log statements so I can figure out where the problem is, shall we? So let's just take this guy, go Control C, and first of all, let's see if we're blowing up. If we're blowing up somewhere, it might be right here. So we're going to go here, we're going to go context.log. And we're just going to put in standard old everyday quotes. Wait, it did say, I do have request.url up here. Oh, and it did do the right thing, so that's fine. And I am still using name, which by the way, I didn't process name. I wonder if I need to I wonder if I'm supposed to take name out. because I'm not using it anywhere. You know what? I think, well, that ain't going to matter, right? Because if name is just not being used, that's not going to be a problem because it doesn't know what to do with it. Because this is headers and pages and title, and probably don't need this. It's not going to, has no effect on anything, but could be that it's not in there, and so request query.get name doesn't do anything. But I don't think we need it because it's not valid. But that doesn't answer my question, I don't think. So we're just going to go here and we'll go something is amiss. I don't remember, because I'm wondering if it's having trouble when, you know, it errors out for something and then it goes here and then it blows up. So, you know, obviously if we have this, we go straight here. If it's blowing up on the first part, it's going to blow up before it goes to this part. But I do want to see if we are actually getting past this request here. I don't know if that's blowing up here or there, or something's undefined. Maybe my request object is wrong. I don't know. Almost there. I'm just kind of guessing at what might be tripping me up here. Now, normally I would try to edit these, or you know, validate them while I'm in Visual Studio, but I don't know how I would validate the code, you know, or the webhook. So I don't know how you test a webhook locally. There's probably ways to do it. Like you can have a local GitHub or something and have it respond to the local GitHub. Because you can have a local Git, well, you can have a local Git repository, but no, I guess you'd have to have the hook still be on. Well, no, I don't know, because I was gonna say you could test locally, but then that wouldn't work because you'd be giving it a local host, and that's not gonna do anything. That isn't gonna work. Everything's setting up here like it's gonna work, but everything compiles. Oh shoot, did I save? Oh my gosh, I hope I saved, because if I didn't, I have to go back and do it again. File. I don't know if I saved. I feel like maybe I didn't save, but let's go look at the code and we'll see. Oh no, it's there. All right, well, let's see what happens. We'll send it again. Strike 5. Can I delete these? I want to delete them. I don't like the evidence of this failure. It's oh well, guess I can't. There's no way to get rid of them. I can redeliver them, but I can't get rid of them. Alrighty, my failure is going to be forever remembered. Well, that's interesting. That didn't return an error. It did fail, but I didn't get an error. I don't know what the problem was because it won't tell me. Look, I click here. Okay. I'll try that again. I don't know. It didn't say nothing. Oh, there it is. Ooh, big error. Oh boy, big error. All right, so we got HV function process request 4. Cannot read property of undefined. All right, so the problem is something in here because it never got to the second context log. So it did do the URL. I triggered this one just fine. It blew up on this line. So something about pages, title, request.body didn't like it. I don't know what is the problem though. I'm wondering, can I do this? I'll see why not. Async. What is undefined though? Oh, what is undefined? It's got to be, is it the request? The request has to be defined, right? I mean, we got request.url, so that passed. And the request.body, so if I go click on, let's say this one, even the one that's here, we got the payload here. We got pages, so the request.body, which I assume is the payload. And then we go, this is what it's pulling from the request.body pages.body.pages. So we got pages here. And the title is home. So we got the title is home, and we have to get in here. We're not getting to almost there, so we're failing here. It doesn't like request.body. Something about this request object it doesn't like. Even though I'm able to get request dot whatever here, what if I go const and we say, oh, request body equals request dot body. And I'm going to find out if that's my problem, because I'm going to go here, request body, and we're going to put it here. Because I'll know if it's just having a problem with request.body. I don't know why it would, but it could. And we're going to go here, and we're going to go, I'm just trying to figure out what's the what's causing me this, what's not defined. It's not failing in a way that's telling me, in advance. So, and it's like, no squiggly mark saying, hey, this doesn't compile. So all I can do is keep trying to figure out the problem here. Context unlock. So we're going to say, well, request.body worked. So body is defined. So this is such a, it's a long-winded way to fix things because I have to keep deploying it. and then I have to trigger the error. And then once I trigger the error, I can go back in. But what can I do, man? I don't know. It's like, if the problem is request.body, I don't know why it would be, because request.url works, so why would request.body fail? And the only next thing is pages, but we know there's a title already there. So why would request.body.pages fail? Because we already know pages exist. We're looking at it right there. Pages is there. I don't have it lowercase. It's still it's square bracketed 0. I mean, I guess you can have multiple pages, but I don't think there's multiple pages. Nope. So 0 is the first page. You could theoretically, I guess, return multiple pages of something. But we're there. We're done. Let's go back. We're going to go back to the function. Redeliver this. Should show my code change. Well, request.body is defined, so that's good. We're going to go here, and say OK. And we're going to redeliver it again. See what it says. Redeliver. Blows up again. Aha, but request body is defined. So it's got to be pages and something about pages or title. Why? Does it not like the if statement? If that's the case, I got a different problem. Because maybe if else can't be used within the context of this handler piece. I don't know why that would be the case, but I'm just guessing at the moment. Because I feel like we know pages exist. Because when you look at this, it definitely shows pages. So pages is part of it. It's part of the body, but it's not reading it correctly. So if the problem is that, then we have a different issue. Context.log was able to read off of this stuff, though. Let's go. All right. Well, let's do another. Let's go back to my thing. Let's just eliminate the response or the request as any of the problem right now. Well, at least as of this point. So we're going to go context.log log. We're just going to go title works. And we're going to go here, and we're going to go $. Oh, wait, I got to put this. That's not a $. $. Squiggly. We're going to go request body dot pages square bracket square bracket 0 . So this will tell me that it's not anything to do with request body, and our problem, if this works, we will have eliminated everything other than the fact that it's the if statement. It doesn't like the if statement, like it's not valid in this context. In which case I'll have to figure out something else, because this is assembled slightly different, like I said, from the way that the lesson did it. This is like the default setup by when you set up a HTML or HTTP trigger through VS Code and using the Azure setup, and you go through and it creates this basically the framework for your HTTP trigger, And apparently you cannot add an if statement inside of the else. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. If this plays out and then it blows up, that means we neither got here nor here, but we know this works, and therefore it's the if statement. So we will have eliminated everything, and we'll have to write something. We'll have to write it differently to figure out what the if statement is. Oops. Did I start that deployment? No, I did not. Let's see, Control S, and then we're going to go here, and we're going to say deploy to Azure. Start it again. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I gotta stop, but I don't want to stop before I fix this. I think there's a way. I'm guessing. Well, there's a request object. So if I take the if else out of there, but even the return that was there was inside of the handler. So we know. How do I validate? How do I do an if statement if it isn't going to allow me to do an if else is a problem? I've got to figure out how I can write this if statement. But if it could, maybe it does have something to do with this. Oops. That's not a thing. What the heck? Okay, do this again, do that, say okay. I don't know why it won't let me drag this up. We got a different problem. My mouse isn't working. Look at the scroll bar, it's bouncing up and down. What the heck? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Here we go again. Redeliver. What happened? Is it just being slow to show me my error, or what happened? The log streaming has ended. Please reconnect to continue streaming logs. What? Gotta do it again. Why did it discontinue? Why did it discontinue my stuff? Okay, now we're connected. I'll try it again. And again, and again, and again. All right. Well, request bodies. Oh, it did not like the title. So request body does its thing, but request body.pages is not working. Why? Why? Cannot read properties of undefined. So did it not come back with did the request not come back with? So it wasn't complaining about the if then. Now, to be fair, I don't know that request body is a valid object. Request is a valid object. Body might not be, and therefore, if it's undefined, maybe it took it because I tried to read properties off of it. I don't know. I don't know why that would be a thing. I don't know if that's, I don't know how, I don't know where the error would occur in that situation. Can you define, like, is body a valid object? But it did say pages was okay. So how do I check this? What's the next valid, the next valid value I can take off of body? What else is on body? Is there something, I just want to see if body, is it body or pages that's the problem? See, it's got other stuff. It's got like methods, page. Oh, you know, it's interesting. There's no page name there. Oh no, this body wouldn't. It wouldn't have that. Repository, is that on there? I'm trying to see if it's actually stuff that would be from. Because if pages is a thing, then repository should be a thing, right? Pages, repository, etc., etc. But I don't see any of that on there. Pages might just be defined because I'm calling pages. You call it and it goes, oh, is that a thing? All right, well, I'll just add that on and call it good. Because I would expect if pages there, repository should be there if it's something I haven't referenced before. And this implies it's, we should have all these other things too. Should be a whole bunch of other stuff. Sender should probably be on there. I mean, a whole bunch of things should be on there. But, and if I would assume body is, I would assume the body is the payload. And that's why it's looking at pages. But why is it not liking? All right, let's go look at the original. Let's go look at the code they're passing in and just see if maybe I missed something. Oops. Nope. Pages I'm passing in. The exercise here. Okay, where is the exercise at? I'm gonna go, here it is. See, they have the same basic thing. Async function, context request. Request name. But I don't get request name that way. Request.query. .name. Oh wait, request.text. I wonder, because if you see this original one, see this says request.body here. But my original code was, it did not use request.body, it used request.text. And it said get name, which was the name of the parameter that was passed. Now it's from the query. But instead of request.body, it said or. This is a request query.name request.body or request.body ampersand request.body.name. But this didn't do that. This just said There's like, there is no other option. But it said request dot, said or request dot text. It's or, right? Or world? I think it's text. I don't think it's body. I don't know why, but let's see what happens if I type in text here. And then we're going to go here. We're going to go request.body. Is that allowed? I don't know. I don't know if that's allowed or not, but we're going to try it. And it might even be more so. Like I have to like, and if that's the case, I got to read up on that. That's going to be a Google thing. If I don't figure it out here, if this isn't the answer, like you don't just go request.text.pages, it might be request.text and inside of here is pages.title, or does this have any insert promise string? Returns a promise fulfilled with the body as a string. Ah, see, there we go. Interesting. Okay, so so the body comes back as a string. Now the question is, how do I pull that off? How do I pull values off of there? Okay, so HTTP request.text is the way we do it, and it's got to come back, returns a promise fulfilled with the body as a string. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. Like I said, that's going to end up being a Google thing. But let's take this first swipe at it and see where we are. Okay, so let's go here. Oops. Go here. Deploy to Azure. Go up here. Webhook functions. Okay, so I think that might be the problem. While that's doing that, takes a minute or so. We're gonna go get values from request.text. How to retrieve text from response? Search pattern. Then just use a regular expression to search or match the entire response. You are using wrong. The first argument function is pattern, and the second one is, oh well, whatever. Get HTTP get results equal. I feel like that's not the best way. I feel like that feels wrong. I don't know. I'm telling these guys who obviously know more than I do. You don't know what you're talking about. It's got to be a better way. Uh-oh. That one didn't even load. I blew up before I even got here. Wait, did it finish? Now it finished. Let's see if that's the problem. It might not have finished. Nope. It didn't like something. Oh, duh. Too many periods in there. Why does it? Alright, try it again. Alright, back to what I was doing. Alright, so we got recent request. Oops. read GitHub wiki response payload Okay, so that deployed. Let's go back to wherever I was. Okay, we're back to here. Successfully got back to here. Now we're going to see if at least it goes on to there, and I have a feeling. All right, where was it? Where's my GitHub? Okay, redeliver. I still expect a failure because I just want to see if, well, request body is defined. So we do have, it is getting past here, but it can't just read pages that way. So I have to figure out how to read request.text. Parse request.text. We'll do it in a JavaScript. No. Here, let's see, maybe this one has something. Request.text method. Promise it resolves with a string. When get data is run, we create a new request using the request. Oh, okay, so fetch my request, then response equals response.text, then text. My article.innerText equals text. Response.text. Well, for one, I'm looking at request.text. So that's not the same. But so if I get request body and it's a string, I just have to parse it out, right? I mean, that should be easy. It should be easy. There's a way to do it. I mean, it's like I think I might have to. Maybe if I stringify it, can I break it up into, or not stringify? What is it called? When you turn it back into a JSON file, is it stringify? Get pages value from payload from GitHub payload JavaScript. No code here. All right, let's try this. How to get values from JSON converted to string in JavaScript. Use the JavaScript and JSON stringify to convert it into a string. I don't want to convert it into a string. It's already a string. I just want to read it. It's already stringified. I wonder what happened. What would this do if I just told it to write that out? Oops, can't edit here. I wonder if there's a problem with this too, because I need to say await. Because, yeah, needed to await it. Is there, what could I do with this? Is there like, what, is there an extension to this? Concat, index of, match, a lot of stuff you can do with it. Headers. Pages. Well, I'll see. I don't know. Deploy to Azure. Do this again and again and again. Well, I just know I needed to do an await because sometimes that it won't even have data. It won't even exist until it comes back. But the problem is it comes back as a string, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to have a pages property. A string doesn't have a pages property, which means I need to somehow parse out the pages. But I don't know how to do that if it's not set up in a way that makes it into a object model that can be read. So there's got to be something I'm missing here. See. Get title from payload. GitHub wiki. If I could just see someone to pull it, then I am going to be, I think I have what I need. Nobody's doing it. Nobody. I mean, this talks about it, but it doesn't. But I need some like current code of someone doing it. Because using text does not parse out that way. And I know it's something simple. I'm thinking I might just have to, if I could just pin the string down. But I don't want to do something kludgy like just search for the value in the string. That just seems seems kludgy. I mean, I feel like there should be a way to format it so you just read it like it's showing you, like an object model. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do just have to read it now. I mean, that seems weird, but it seems wrong. I'm probably just I'm making it harder on myself. I go, no, that can't be right. That doesn't make any sense. Why would it do that? That's not right. Let's see. Let's say a different error. It's shorter anyway. What do we got now? Nope. Still just complaining. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading 0 at handler. But we did get to request body is defined. So we are. The first part reads. I just don't know. I can't. I have to figure out the syntax for reading out of this title object, or this text object. This text object is valid. I just don't know how to. What if I log it? What happens if I just log the text? Then I can see it. Constant. Oh no. I'm just gonna do this. I just want to see what it is. We're gonna go blah, and we're gonna go $, squiggly, and request body, squiggly. Yes. Do I even need to do that? I don't even think I need to do that, do I? It's like I probably don't even need the squig. I don't need these. I'm not putting strings on it. I probably could just go like request body. So it should be everything that's in text. So it should just be a value, and I'm going to drop it. And hopefully I don't have any errors, right? So this should log everything that this string is. Let's see what it is. It says it comes back as a string. And now we're going to go up here, and we're going to at least see what the string looks like. It's kind of lame that I can't just read it. There's got to be a way to just read it. Let's see here. Is there a, get values from JSON string JavaScript. How to get JSON key and value in JavaScript. JSON parse. JSON parse? Use the JavaScript function JSON parse to convert text into JavaScript object. That, that might work. Maybe if JSON parse actually exists here. I assume it would or does, but maybe it doesn't. Oops, I forgot to start this off. I'm tempted to try it, but you know what? After this, I know it's probably going to fail, but I want to see if it shows me what the text looks like, and then I'm going to try this, but I'm going to take a break first. So yeah, I'll probably stop the stream and go get my lunch and get myself kind of going for the day, and then I'll come back and try again this afternoon. It's already this afternoon, but hopefully it won't take that long. But I do need to kind of get going here. Take down some nutrition if I'm gonna be running around later. Need to have some energy in my body. All right, so does JSON parse exist? I think that says yeah. Let's see if this exists. Let's go constant. Let's see. Text. Call it JSON text equals JSON dot parse. Oh, there it is. Parse. REQ body. Interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's going to work, but it might. It might give me the object model I'm looking for. And if that works, I might be able to do what I want, because then it's going to have this stuff, assuming it knows how to parse it, and it says objects.birth. I should be able to go JSON text. I could do something like maybe probably call something request JSON. In fact, let's go one step further and we'll just call it request JSON. You know, just so that it looks like that's what it is. Then we're going to go Control C, and then we're going to go over here and we're going to do this. If it turned it into JSON, this might work. Might work. I say might because might not work. But oh, it's a quote, a single quote. That's what SQL Server is in my brain. It clicked. My brain just clicked. Go, oh yeah. If this works, I'm going to put this in. Wait, is request.headers a separate thing? Oh, it is a separate thing. I'll leave that one alone. It's a different thing. But this is not. Okay. First, I want to go see what this pops up. I just want to see this, see if this actually did anything. Assuming I didn't syntactically blow it up. Okay, okay. Syntactically, I did not destroy anything. Go back here. Go back here. Did we deliver? Say yes. I expect to see much more junk here. I did. Got way more junk. Got the whole entire page, which has all the stuff in it. Home, pages, yep, you got everything. But it still blew up as expected. So now let's go back here one more time. We're going to go save. And this time we're going to redeploy it with my new JSON JSON parse thing and see if that works. So we know request body does return data. It's so, because it did drop it out for me. Um, so we know that that's not empty. And now it's going to parse it out into a JSON file or out into JSON format. Hopefully that'll allow me to read it as we're reading it, pages.title, blah, 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 blah. And we can get somewhere with that. That's the dream anyway. Let's see where I'm at here. Now, okay, so we didn't blow up. Everything was happy there. We got here, it didn't complain that I was not compiling. Now we're gonna go try this one more time. It worked. It worked, people. It worked. Almost there. Something worked. Executed function trigger. Body. Did it actually do anything there? Oh, we got to almost there. Executed function trigger succeeded. I don't know what it's doing with all this though. What? I mean, we got to almost there. We got to succeeded. But what is this? What is this body it returned? Oh, is that going to actually be in my thing here? So we got response. Page is home. Action is edited. Event type is undefined. Oh, that's right. Because I think I did something where I didn't define my event type here blew up. Okay, so it didn't like my request.headers thing here. But hey, we pretty much got it. We got the home, we got the title. It read it perfectly now. Action is edited. I don't know why it didn't like my request.headers x GitHub event. It's coming out of the headers here. It should have said this, but I wonder if it's case sensitive, because if you see here, it's x GitHub event with a couple of capitals in there. But I wonder if this request.headers is coming back as text also. And then I have to restring, because you know, it could just be a modernization of it. And instead of coming back as no, it doesn't say it comes back as a string this time. Property HTTP request.headers. So if that's valid, I wonder if it's case sensitivity that's throwing that off. Because that's, I mean, it'd be weird, but there's so many things that are case sensitive out there. It kind of bugs me, to be honest. And do I have to put the colon in there? I mean, where's the separation on these headers? Or maybe it just finds that header. I can't imagine it's case sensitive. That would be lame. But I'm going to put it in there as case sensitive just because. And I don't know when it would have made that change, right? I mean, when did this start to matter? I'm leaning towards this not the problem. Probably not going to do anything different. I do want to fix that because I want it all working. I can't have bugs in my code. But I also know that it's not the key element here. The point was that I got it working with the JSON. So again, a little bit different from the way the simple, you know, the class does it, because the way it sets up the functions is through probably works if you're doing it through Azure Portal, if you can get the Azure Portal function apps to work. But if you created your HTTP trigger using VS Code like I'm doing here, it sets it up in a different way. And now you have to make your code function according to the way VS Code sets it up. So again, I can't speak to how it would work in Azure, because Azure Portal does not allow me to create function apps successfully because it won't connect to storage account. I don't know why. It refuses. So I just gave up on it, and I'm working my way around it to do this through VS Code in this instance. Okay, so we are back to, I think we're back, right? Oh, nope, I didn't actually start it. Dang it. So I got to click on here and say deploy. Boy, whoever this Cassidy is, it's a person on WhatsApp, in our pickleball group. It's just going nuts. He's just going all kinds of new stuff. All right, so obviously things are working now. I could probably remove a lot of my unwanted messages, but my thing was I'm trying to figure out. I tried a simple fix to try to get past this one part that says it's not defined, but we've got things kind of working now. Yay. We'll redeliver it again. Oops. All I did was change the text. I don't think that's right. It's probably not going to work or do anything different, but we have to go look here. Yeah, it still says event type is undefined. So it doesn't like whatever this request.headers is, whatever format it's in, whatever it's reading, it doesn't like it. So I'm going to have to fiddle with that a bit. I don't know if the problem is request.headers is, yeah, I don't know. I'm just really kind of stumped at the moment. I mean, there is a request.headers. And now the problem is trying to figure out how to read it. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a quick way to do that? How to get value from request.headers. How to extract custom header value. Binaural header values, var user ID, string empty request headers, try get values, my custom. Request.headers, try get values, blah. Out header values. User ID equals header values dot first or default. Huh. Is that a thing? Try get values? I don't know. No, that's not a thing. I don't know what language. Let's see, what is this? That's is that C sharp? Yeah, they might be doing that in C sharp. I'm gonna have to go look at JavaScript. I don't want to get all the headers. I just want to get specific headers. String, context, get variable, request headers, name, slice, one, split, blah, blah, blah. That's like looking through all the names in the headers. Well, I got it working for the most part. I'll play with this a little bit more. I do got to take a quick pause and go see if I can get a couple things done and ready for the rest of the day for me. And then I'll come back after a bit and see if I can hack out this last little piece so I can call this done. Until then, you take it easy.